Check, check, 1, 2, ayy, check, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah, ayy, yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat in. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a high king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Now my shit's popping, oh and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah that's the thing, happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not, he would come like it or not. Look at my wrist, yeah it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat in. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. Fuck the whole industry, music and media. Started my own shit, I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your mouths is just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Yo last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill the fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat in. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. Man, it's too early in the morning for this shit. But let's get it. Yeah. Ayy, all of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. I'm dropping slappers to hell with an album. Might fuck around and go see Jimmy Fallon. I multiply while you bury your talents. Cause I'm like a hawk when I bury my talents. Guess what I'm saying? I pray on these niggas. There was a day when I'd pray for these niggas. Now I got nothing to say to these niggas. I pray that God does away with these niggas. I keep my friends close, but my enemies closer. My mental is gross, but my verses are kosher. These girls going wild, but I'm not a poacher, so I just keep shining like Elon, I'm solar. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole, put nuts on they chin. Like Everson K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My bennies are blue, but the product is green. Gotta make this money, only game I know. I'm the only king, this ain't no Game of Thrones. Everybody wanna be a fucking king until it's time to do what a king does. Everywhere I look, it's just kids and drugs. Everywhere I look, it's just gangs and thugs. Can't tame the guns, can't save our loved ones. I grew my funds and I called the plug. Then I filled my lungs, I don't mess with that new shit. Y'all talking tough, but ain't none of y'all do shit. Y'all chasing money, you want the exposure. Y'all think y'all funny and snake Gucci loafers. I don't give disclaimers, I rap full disclosure. These niggas all think they were born in October. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have stacks on plus stacks when I'm older. Stacks when I'm older. Yeah, stacks when I'm older. The only thing different between you and I is that I also have millions in cash when I'm older. All of y'all talking, but I just went. Papa Swole put notes on they chin. Like Everson K2 get mounds of cash. Looked in the crowd, saw my name on the ass. You made them bands, now your money is spent. I stash away about 40%. Empire with honey like I'm Gary V. My Benny's are blue, but the product is green. Too many people on a bandwagon. Dumb band through that hellfire. Came out lethal like a red dragon. Same old rapper with the same old flows. Color dreads with the pants sagging. Got that fame, but you sold your soul. You a warlock, I'm the dark assassin. Said thick stacks, mode change. Big bags, faux chains. Get that money, said big facts, no gains. Big stats, mo fame. We back done said big names. On stage, big trap, no shame. Going in, running that big check. My name, sign that, mo rain. Come back home and just come up, hey. Let's be with that drummer, hey. Saw that fatty mama, hey. Told her I don't wanna, hey. Come up, hey. Let's be with that drummer, hey. Saw that fatty mama, hey. Told her I don't wanna, hey.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 3314 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beescast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you bees.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All right, just trying to get this up on the screen because it's easier than holding it up. Hashtag Get Swole. I am still rearranging the office, and we're just going gangsta with the card today. So hashtag Get Swole for a chance to win today's Swole card, and we'll give it away at the end of today's episode. Before we get into that tip, let's just welcome a couple of people in the chat. Danny, Alex, PK, what's up, martial arts? How we doing? Mark, Squeegee727 says, I started my elimination diet last week and lost 9 pounds so far. I am loving this change to my way of living. It's been great listening to these podcasts and being encouraged by Papa and the Swole fam. That's fantastic. Good for you. This is why we always talk about doing the elimination diet, because when you actually get down to the basics, you realize how basic it is and how simple it is and how far these, I don't want to necessarily say poisons, but how far these cracks in the foundation actually spread to all aspects of your life and how much bloating and inflammation you have. This is the most important part about the elimination diet. Or if I had to say, one of the most important things is understanding how many things in your body, for better or for worse, is coming from your gut and coming from you healing your gut and getting rid of these things that are causing inflammation and leaky gut and all these side effects. There's so many second and third order consequences because if you're chronically bloated, it's not just some water weight and some body fat. It's migraines, it's psoriasis, it's eczema, it's brain fog, it's joint pain, it's bloating, it's trouble sleeping, it's all these other things. And guess what? If you have trouble sleeping, you have brain fog and joint pain and migraines, you're going to have elevated cortisol. You're going to have other problems from being chronically stressed. You're going to have hypertension. You're going to have, high blood pressure, right? Hypertension. You're going to have whatever else. You're going to have other issues because of your gut. So again, fix it. Fix it. It's everything. And all those chronic, look, you have short-term inflammation and then you have bloating and joint pain and stuff like that. In the immediate term, you're going to have Alzheimer's. You're going to have heart disease. You're going to have diabetes. You're going to have problems from that chronic inflammation, PCOS. You're going to have issues. So anyway, a little rant to get us started, but let's get into that tip. And great news that you're doing the elimination diet. That's fantastic. If you want to learn more, go over to swolenormousx.com and join the fam today. We got awesome new releases also. You guys, you're going to love these new drops. This might be an all-time design. In fact, I know it's an all-time design. I'm trying to get you excited because it is literally an all-time design. All-time. All-time. And we have a lot of all-time designs, but you're going to let it's an instant win. I love it. Okay, let's get into that tip. Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside. Okay, hashtag get swole for a chance to win today's swole card. I asked a question to the Swole fam. What are you focusing on most this week? Accountability text yesterday. And I said, give me details. I want details. Let's fucking go. Let's kick this week off strong. What are you working on? What's your number one focus? And how? I always want to know how you're going to do it. Because if you don't know how you're going to do it, if you just tell me the answer, and there's some really short and they're under answered. I appreciate the response. But when I send out those Swole texts, especially the accountability ones, put some time into it. Think about it. And the more seriously you answer the question, the more I am convinced, or the more you are actually going to actually do it. If you just respond like some people, and again, if you're put on blast, it's for a reason. It's because it's a learning experience. So there are, and I don't want to say there's a right answer, but it's what you have behind it. If you just say, I want to do better with nutrition, that doesn't mean anything. You're not going to do any better with nutrition. You might even do worse because that's not actionable. Okay. What about your nutrition? What's the problem? Oh, I go out with my friends, I eat shit. Well, now we got to get to the root cause of that, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not just nutrition. No, it's a lot of habits, how you schedule your time, how you surround yourself with people, what priorities you make. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. It's not that simple. You have to be specific. Okay. Jen says, it's fucking nuts how being unhealthy and not taking care of ourselves fucks us up in all forms. And it's all those second and third order consequences, right? We talked about, okay, you gain weight. Okay, you have some water weight, but all the brain fog and poor sleep and cortisol, how is that going to affect you at work? How is that going to affect your performance? How is that going to affect how you're able to be there for your kids? How is that going to affect how often you get sick? If you get sick all the time, why does your immune system suck? Because it's probably fighting off things that you shouldn't be eating and surround yourself with. It's probably already maxed out and you're burnt out. So it's really important. How are you going to be able to be there for your kids? How are you going to be healthy? How are you going to, if you're all this X, Y, and Z, yeah, you wouldn't have any energy to work out. You're barely alive. You're really just struggling to be bare minimum. Some people get sick all the time. Maybe you're one of them. If you're listening, this is great information. But most of you know a person at work. Drop your stories in the comments. This is always, you get interesting feedback. But it's going to be a family member or someone at your job who's just always sick. All right, let's get into some responses. So what are you working on this week? We'll get some of those responses in a second.
What's in the box?
This is why I had a little rant going. Alva says time management. So I can discuss about time management, but this is what I mean about being vague. What about time management? See, time management, we can go into this for a second. Time management is not just time management. time management is all the habits that lead to a certain result taking place. Time management, improving time management is not just, I'm going to manage my time better. No, it's like 50 fucking habits that you have to undo and implement. So what about time management? Not waking up early enough? Well, that's a lot of things the night before, isn't it? That's work the night before. So you have to get to the root cause. Just, you don't have good time management because you have habits that are inhibiting you. You're putting roadblocks in your own way. So time management means all these habits that happen in advance of the things you want to happen in a certain order. There are some people that have a lot of things they want to do in a day and they get overwhelmed, but they're not taking care of the night before. So they're waking up with a hangover. They're waking up with a food hangover or lack of sleep, or they ate too late or whatever it is. They're not getting consistent quality sleep. So how are you going to have a good day if the night before, if your sleep sucks? There's so many, and it has to go down to that fundamental. It has to. You're not going to be able to outlive bad sleep. And when I say outlive, you're not going to be able to stave off all the problems from lack of sleep. You go to caffeine, you go to energy, you go to some sort of stimulant to get you through the day. That's going to cut off the last 15 years of your life. So again, that's a vague answer. That's not actionable. So I want to know from Alva, I want to know, okay, give me some details. What does that mean? What the hell does that mean to you? It's like saying, I eat healthy. You know what happens when someone eats healthy. I want to work on my time management. What does that mean? What do you think that means? What do you think that means? All right, keep dropping your comments and we'll get to some of those coming up. We got a couple, let's get a couple of responses from the ones about getting sick. Mark says, I've only been sick twice since 2020. Good for you. PK says, when people say they want to do better with nutrition, it's usually the soda to diet soda change is the first thing that I see them do. Better is subjective for sure. I know. This is why when someone says I'm eating better or I'm eating clean, my diet's healthy. Remember the question? I posted this on Instagram the other day. Remember the one that said, I eat healthy or I eat clean? I think it was my diet's healthy, but I have bubble guts 24/7. Someone literally submitted that question. My diet's healthy, but I have bubble guts 24/7. Now you tell me, how healthy does that sound? My diet's great. I just shit my brains out all the time. My stomach is like bubbling and bubble guts. That means you have diarrhea. You're constantly shitting yourself 24/7, but my diet's healthy. Methinks you're eating literally poison and your body is trying to flush it out. It's shitting itself to get out as fast as possible. How retarded can you be? That needs to be a question on Instagram stories. That person needs to ask me. That person needs to ask me. Now, as you know, I appreciate questions. I appreciate being able to provide value to people. This is how I have a business. That's fine. And I appreciate, so I don't want to discourage people from asking me questions. But if you have to ask me a question that says, my diet's healthy, but I shit myself 24/7. Let me tell you a little something about that phrase 24/7. That's a phrase used to represent all the time. 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I know it's hyperbolic, but this person literally says they just shit themselves all the time. But my diet's healthy. What's the problem? What can I do, Papa Swole?
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Loretta says, my best friend was always sick, caught every cold and flu because of horrible dental health, died at 67 of a stroke. And why does she have poor dental health? She had poor health. She was eating crap, and we know that. I'm sorry to hear about that. It's brutal when people that you care about don't take care of themselves, but you're also not surprised. Look, it almost helps you. It almost helps you cope with it. It's like, well, they did that to themselves and they ran themselves into the ground. You're less shocked by it. I mean, that is what life happens. And of course you miss your friend, but it's just like, okay. It's like they didn't respect and take care of themselves. And I remember, Loretta, you were talking about trying to get her. Wasn't that more recent? Weren't you trying to get her to be more healthy and join the Swole fam and stuff like that? I remember that. If that's the person I'm thinking of. It's a shame. It's a shame people just don't even lift a finger for themselves. And then complain about abstract ideas like Ukraine and Israel and shit. It's like, you are a land whale. You got to take care of yourself before you die. Jen says, I have a cousin who gets sick super fast, sneeze on her, and within hours, she's sick. She and her family are sick at least once a month, it seems. I haven't been sick in over 3 years. You would think that, don't you? And again, I think it's people more and more realizing that your family and people, like your family members and your friends, are all just people, and most people are retarded. Like, they're just retarded. I get sick all the time. Maybe a close relative of mine, just think, you know that she's sick all the time. She probably thinks you get sick and just don't talk about it, you know, but don't you think they would look and be like, oh, wow, Jen's never sick. I'm sick all the time. Maybe I should ask her what she does and maybe do what she does. If you're always breaking your leg, you should probably talk to your friend that never breaks their leg. Maybe you should do what they're doing. Don't get business advice from someone who never had a successful business unless you're getting advice on what not to do. People emulate successful. You want to be a great baseball player, you're going to emulate Mike Trout. You're going to emulate, I don't know, the greats in baseball. You're going to emulate Michael Jordan. You're going to emulate, name the best in any sport. You're going to have people you look up to because you want to aspire to be like that, to do better. You would think that someone would look at someone being successful. Oh, you're successful. No, they're going to get internalized. They're going to project hatred and jealousy. It's really just jealousy. But you would think, maybe, look, that's a person that's close to me. Everyone's trying to network, right? Everyone's trying to network and get to know people. It's not what you know, it's who you know, right? Well, the whole idea behind that is networking from that aspect is it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's creating connections with people that are at that next level of whatever you want. And then you get closer to leveling up. It's essentially spending time with, the average or the average of the 5 people you spend time with the most, that kind of thing. You're the average of your 5 friends or whatever. It's, again, leveling up your friend group, spending time and gathering information from that level you want to achieve. So you would think that someone in that situation would look, it's about who you know. You look across the pond and you're like, hey, my cousin, my sister, my best friend is feeling great and not having any of these problems. Maybe I should really go that direction. Wow, there's a real world, close to me, information accessible for me to be like that person. Let me literally just copy what that person does. Let me start there. That's not a bad idea. That's why people are trying to take, that's why when they like, what protein do you take? What creatine do you do? Papa Swole, again, I'm just going to extrapolate this. What exercise do you do? What's your training split? What's your favorite exercise for this? I know why those questions are there. Hey, I want to have a body like that, or I want to take care of my health, or I saw that exercise. I want bigger arms. You have bigger arms than I do. That's a good place to start. It really is. This is why I created Swole Enormous X. Like, here's all my knowledge and things that I've done and currently do. And I'm always updating and doing master classes on things that I come up with and I figure out from personal experience, and I share that. I'm like, oh, it's a good starting point. You still customize your 7 pillars, but hey, that person has things that I want. What does that person do? That person did that. Okay, let me do that. You're going to be successful. You're going to get to that level. Why wouldn't you? You're doing the same things. It's really that basic. So it's frustrating when those people around you don't see back. You look at them. Wow, you're doing a lot shittier than me. You're not spitting on them. They just don't want to look at you. Oh, wow, that person's doing a lot better. They get jealous and they protect themselves and kind of distance themselves or talk shit and blah, blah, blah. Why can't they just look and see, oh, let me just do what that person's doing. Just do that. All right, let's get into some more Swole Fam accountability texts. Anna says, I'm elimination dieting, just finished week 2. I'll be concentrating on keeping that up, meal prepping as much as I can for work. I'm eating a lot of steak. Reheating steak is gross, so I'm making that as I go. Yeah, I agree. I eat steak. I love cold steak. I'm not asking you to, but I love cold steak. I love cold foods. I'll eat cold eggs, cold bacon. I love cold meat. I love kefir. I don't mind if it's left over. There's certain things that I'll keep on the stove overnight. If we make like rice, you don't want that cold, and heating that up if you don't just leave it on the stove is gross. Broth, I just leave it on the stove and we have it the next day. But I love cold steak. I just recommend getting used to eating cold steak and learning to like it. It's like roast beef, you know? You can cut it thin. You can do whatever you want. I love it. I love it. I fucking love it. So, and I think I also learned to love it just because it was easier. It's easier than I didn't have to worry about heating up my food. Everyone's always worrying about their Tupperwares and I need to find a microwave and this. I just learned to eat it cold. And I like it though. I really do. But I just learned to eat my food cold. And then guess what? I never have to worry about fucking heating anything up. I just ate it. Again, I just did it for function. So my whole life, I didn't worry about it. I also enjoyed it, but I love eating the cold steak. I used to eat cold sweet potatoes. I would have my cooler wherever I went to work or I was training or whatever it was. I had my food with me and all I had to do was keep it cold. I put it in the fridge at work or I kept it in my cooler and, you know, they have coolers. I didn't have one of those, but you have coolers you can just plug in now. You can plug it into the wall and I had one on a roller, but I just put a couple ice packs in and it worked well because I wasn't outside in the heat. So it's a skill. It's a skill learning how to reheat it. And I wouldn't say I would eat cold steak for a week, but what we do is we'll cook like cook 2 ribeyes. I don't force myself to complete it because I like to eat it the next day. If we're eating like 7, 8 o'clock, sometimes we eat a little bit later. I'm not going to eat as much. And I've usually eaten other things during the day. Because it depends. We like to sit down and have a meal and we watch a movie or something like that. Or you read books. You know, we just have a little time. So that varies sometimes depending on the night. But I love eating it. I love eating it cold. So again, if I eat half a steak, it might be 8 or 10 ounces of a steak. Totally, that's a lot of food. I would put in the fridge and I just eat it the next day. Cold steak with raw cheese and a couple like fermented pickles and fuck yes, man. Love it. Brian says, I'm prioritizing the first week of the 90-day dash. I will do each day as it comes, but I'm behind a day, so I guess just have to lose the last day. Still, I'm doing all of the remaining 6. If you're behind a day, just continue. It's okay if there's another day in between. Don't cut it off. No, it doesn't matter what day of the week you do it, man. It doesn't. Don't get stuck on the Monday through Friday. Notice how all the programs, and you guys know this, and maybe it's a good opportunity to reiterate this, but don't treat it like it has to be Monday through Friday. I guess it really depends on your schedule and where you go to the gym or where you're doing this. So just keep that in mind. They all have day 1 or day 2 or day 3. If something really fucking happens, do a little swole, go do a swollen 7 or something. Like make sure you're moving that day. Do some mobility, do some dead hangs, like do a couple things, 10, 15 minutes, just like decompression and stuff like that. And then do the day that you missed the next day. Your body's not going to hate like more recovery. More recovery is always going to be great. It's a net positive. Better than doing a workout and then going right into the next workout. When there's a recovery day, if there's a set recovery day, there's a reason for it. And it's important. And you don't want to go, I mean, you had that today, I get it. But in the sequence, it also matters. So I just recommend people understand there's no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't go based off like a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 protocol. So just keep that in mind. And of course, once you get to the 90-day dash, most people are going to want to pluck around and probably get into Maximum Swole. That's a real popular program. Swole Season's great. There's other ones, of course. Cassandra says, I'm prioritizing keeping to the elimination diet. Okay. Good. You know, in terms of what are you working on this week, this was short and sweet and to the point, but there's nothing wrong with that because you're on the elimination diet and that's your number one. You're on the elimination diet. You've been doing it. You're keeping to it, which means you've been doing it. So keep doing it. So in this situation, short and sweet is appropriate and good response. Good. I don't want to say good luck because it's not luck, but fortunate execution of your elimination diet, Cassandra. It's not luck, right? It's not luck. It's just preparation. Adequate execution for you. Okay, Hannah says sleep. I'm working on sleep this week. Red light. No tech after 9 p.m. Proper sleep hygiene. The works. Very nice. Drop in the comments how many of you do this. I recommend it. We turn the red lights on, red light bulbs. We do shut down the phones and any kind of blue light and tech and stuff like that. Cold, dark room. We have our routine. And we're always fine tuning and sometimes laxing on it depending, but there's a fundamental routine and that's great. Sun goes down, red light mode, game changer. Game changer. Okay, we got a couple more. I've got 3 more great responses, and make sure you keep on responding if you haven't responded yet. Do it. Robert says, I'm working this week focusing most on changing my workout from push-pull leg to upper-lower. Nice. I recommend it. Great choice. There's something I want to do for a masterclass based on the split. That just reminded me. So I'll just kind of put that as a teaser. I don't want to just talk about it. I think it's good for a masterclass based on push-pull leg, full body, upper-lower, every other day type thing. So again, it's what you can stick to the most. And as I fine-tuned over the years, there's been one split that I can really maintain long term. I can train hard. I can do lower volume overall, like the same volume. Everything else I've done has happened. Everything else that I've done besides what I'll discuss, and I've kind of talked about this before, but I'll do in a masterclass. I've always come back to one programming. And there's really one that I can maintain long term. Other things, I'll do it for a week and then I just feel a little bit more drained. Just keep on coming back to this one style of doing it, and it's been working. So, all right. Sheena says, I'm prioritizing community this week. I find that I often hyper-focus on a couple of pillars at a time and let some slide. I haven't been attending as many mancasts in the last couple of weeks, and I haven't been active in Telegram like I used to be. Now that I'm in a good place with my nutrition and training, I need to focus on my community. Being an introvert, I often isolate myself, and sometimes that's not a good thing. All right. Well, good for you. And we wish you the best with that. Let's break this down a little bit. Respect the response. I find that I often hyper-focus on a couple pillars at a time and let some slide. That's normal. That's normal because you're going to have to you can't, and this is why we say focus on the 7 pillars. I always talk about the 7 pillars. That's the foundation. If you want to download the free copy, links below, swolenormousx.com. But the 7 pillars are 7 things. And the 7th one is consistency. So it's really the 6 things consistently, right? If you want to break it down like that. You can't prioritize 6 things at once. You can't. You need to be aware of them and gather data. And this is why when you start, I always say this, focus more. In general, there's 2 routes that you're going to prioritize. Some of you don't have a lot of perceived autoimmune issues. You're going to learn more along the way and make little cuts and adjustments. Okay, you're always doing that. So you're always working on nutrition, you're prepping meals, you're buying food, you're trying something different. That's always in flux because there's the most variance with nutrition day to day, or can be, and hydration and X, Y, and Z, right? But your sleep routine, your morning routine, like these things can be very, very standardized. So when it comes to focusing on a couple pillars, you just need to, when people usually join, it's usually expressed as focus on one thing, focus more on nutrition when you start, or focus more on training. Get on a quality program. A lot of you will join for different reasons. You could drop your thoughts in the comments because a lot of you watching right now are members. What was the defining factor that got you to join? Were you looking more for programming? Were you looking more for a little bit of everything? Like what brought you into the Swole fam? And there's a lot of different things that you can start with. You can just join Swolenormous X and start with yoga and just move more and just do a yoga class every day, or do yin every day, or do the chair yoga, or do a Swollen 7 every day. So it really depends on what's that first habit that you want to work on. You got to prioritize something. If you try doing an elimination diet and the 90-day dash and Like they're designed to be done together. And some of you have done that. And that's very impressive. But a lot of people don't do all that together well. Some of you might be really detailed and okay, and you can stick to something and really do it, and you've done it, and you're going to get the best results. You're going to fucking really see the most progress. However, it's just not everyone bites off that much. Not everyone can execute like that. Some of you go monk mode, right? You can go community. All right, let me cut myself off from the world. I'm going to focus all nutrition. Boom, I can control my food 100%. So I'm only getting these things now. I'm going to do this program. I'm changing my schedule. Boom, I'm in. You're just more likely to maintain that long term because it's not a 30-day challenge. You're making these lifetime habitual changes, and some people can execute like that. Some people can execute like that. Not a lot, but some people can. This is why you're going to have to prioritize something. You can't prioritize 6 things. Again, the masterclass I was talking about doing, that's going to be something along the lines of how much you can prioritize. So it's a way that I found that I can prioritize the most things whenever I want with this one particular type of split that works for me. In terms of fatigue, in terms of the frequency that I'm getting things, and the adjustability and the ability to pivot, this current split is one of the reasons why I like it. But again, prioritizing, you can only prioritize so many things. Maybe 2 or 3 things. And that third one's not getting as much focus. Haven't been attending as many mancasts, podcasts, Telegram like I used to be. Now that's something, look, community is, sometimes you got to go internal. So I need to focus more on my community. Being an introvert, I often isolate myself, and sometimes that's not a good thing. I agree. You can, if you're having struggles and you're kind of, slacking a little, or, you're wavering a little bit, this is why the Swole fam is here. Some people are going to be plugged in all the time. Some people are going to be more transient. Sometimes you have to go into an internal state and really get your head right and just focus, and you block out a lot of stuff, and that's totally cool. But this is there's a lot of wisdom here, and there's a lot of, understanding. Sheena understands herself. She realizes, okay, I need to go internal, but she's also reaching out. So this is great. Yeah, get involved. Come hang out. We'll do why don't we do that? I just had an idea. So I think that's, in other words, okay, so we'll have another, but yeah, plug back in. It's good stuff. All right, we got one more. Let's take one from Troy.
What's in the box?
Troy says, I am focusing on consistency with my training. I want my little girl to see where daddy's priorities are. I got some adjustable dumbbells and I'm excited to use them with the programs and the app. Getting into Swole season, even with my limited equipment. Let's go. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah. I want my little girl to see where daddy's priorities are. And wouldn't you know it, we just talked about priorities. I think so many of these things are just priorities. People will slack on their health, and then all their focus will be like saving every last dollar to get the new iPhone or like some new, they're just consumption item rather than investing in their health. It's really just where your priorities are. If you want to get it done, if a human being wants to get something done, like they'll get it done. But you have to sacrifice other things. If you want to put something one and 2 and 3, there's a reason why there's only three stages at the podium, right? If you have a race between 1,000 people, you're going to have 3, first, second, third place. Sure, there's someone that finished 27th and they did better than the 28th and 29th, but people are trying to get on the podium. There's only room for 3. So think about the priorities. You want to talk about, oh, here are the top 100. Cool. No one cares about 98. On a personal level, if that person used to be 175 and now they're 98, that's a huge improvement. They should be stoked. But most people, it depends on what your realistic expectations. But the point is they put 3 people on the podium. So think about that for your priorities. You have to put 3 at the top. And some of you are going to say God, you're going to say family. Okay. I mean, those things are fine. But I mean, that could be a part of your life. That can be kind of like the undeniables, right? Your family, your spirituality, those types of things. Okay, there's like a roof over your head, food. Like I get the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but we're talking about habitual things. We're talking about more nuance. We're talking about your programming. We're talking about things that you are able to really spend your finite attention on. So you have to be very specific, because if you spread it too thin, you're not going to make progress in any. And what's great about your 7 pillars is that when you work on these, thanks for the comments. I'll put them on the right side of your screen. So the reason why this is an important topic is sometimes you can prioritize too. You can prioritize nutrition and training, but the people that you work with suck and your family is giving you shit, blah, blah. You can block out a lot of noise. You can join the Swole fam. You can read more books. You can limit social interactions as much as possible, but there's going to be some maybe community things that you have to deal with and social stuff that you haven't worked on yet, because that can take some time. Maybe you have a roommate, you need to get your own place or whatever it is. Like sometimes you can only limit it so much. You have to like deal with customers, and it really takes a lot of effort. You can't just snap your fingers. That's probably the hardest one. But recovery, you can work on your sleep. So you have to, I mean, you can make improvements in some of these areas. You can still get to sleep earlier, but maybe you haven't changed your sheets and gotten better breathable covers, or gotten the blackout curtains that you order on Amazon and they haven't come in yet. And you have to put tape on the LEDs and get rid of the Wi-Fi that's under your bed, and unplug it. You have to get into those habits and adjust those things, right? So you can still make some minor improvements. You can still be like, okay, I'm not going to be on my phone past 9 o'clock. Cool. That's going to help your sleep. And it's one habit, but maybe you're really mostly focusing on your nutrition and your training, or you're prioritizing your sleep, or you're prioritizing changing your job so you can get better sleep, or your community. Everyone's going to really focus on one or two and kind of like attack a few other ones, just get information and start executing minimally, doing a 5-minute brain gains, doing a Swole in 7, doing a Swole class, doing one of those express classes, chair yoga. Just get your foot in the door with a couple of those, get your foot in the door with a couple pillars, and then go all in on 1 and 2, or on 1 or 2. Just make sure you're going all in, focus your attention. And then don't forget, once you kind of get your sleep in order, that's because you have all these other things in order. You have your routine, you have that worked out. So as you kind of piece together, eventually, the Legos you put together and you put on autopilot. You know how to go to sleep. You go this and you do your routine. It's a habit. You don't have to think about it. You turn, the lights off. You turn your air conditioning down, this and the other. You don't have to think about that all the time. You can still make improvements and pay more attention and maybe get a new pillow or change your mattress out or whatever it is. But those are more bigger, more focused items or focused improvements. So then you kind of put on autopilot and then spend your attention where you need it the most. And for most of you on a regular basis, it's going to be your sleep. That's really important. And your nutrition and your training. Those are going to be things that are the most in your control, and community is relative to your job and, how deep you are in certain things, in certain negative relationships, because that can take more time. If you're really it only takes time. It doesn't take time. It takes commitment, right? You want to cut people off? No shit. You can cut them off real fucking quick. Are there social consequences? Maybe, but if you don't care about those people, then who fucking cares? Just saying. So it really depends on ripping the Band-Aid off. All right, let's get into some more questions. Knowledge Cock time. Here we go. All right, and let's do some new releases. We'll do some new releases, and we'll do some questions on Instagram. Let's get into a couple recipes, because a lot of you are patient. You want new recipes. Drum roll. What's in the box? New recipes in the Swolenormous app. Shrimp stuffed avocados. Do we like that? I think we like it.
I give it a 10.
It sounds like a
10. A fucking 10.
Some of you, I look at that and I think I would eat it, but I'm not going to make it. That's too much work for Papa. I cook steak. Homie don't do sides. So if Mama Swole you made this, I would absolutely probably eat the shit out of it. Take a spoon right there, little spork, or one of those like grapefruit spoons. I want a little teeth. I want it to sink in there. It sounds good. I'm not gonna make it. I'll salt a steak. I'll sizzle that shit up. I'll sizzle lean, baby. I'll make that steak Homie don't do sides. I'm not making that shit. Too much work for me. But that looks fucking good. So if you're going to bring that somewhere, that looks like, you know what this looks like? Shrimp stuffed. I don't know, it looks relatively easy. You make the shrimp and you chop it up and then you put whatever you want on top of it and you just cut the avocados in half and put it inside. Looks really simple. You probably put that shrimp stuff, whatever you make it, pour it in there, put your grass on it, whatever the hell that stuff is. I would eat it though. Yeah, Alex says, what the fuck, but looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, this is something that people do when they're just bored. It's like, what can we combine? You don't have to put anything. Look at this. You don't have to put anything in an avocado. You don't have to put, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, seriously, give me the shrimp, give me like a bowl of shrimp, and give me avocado on the side. I don't understand. Why put it together? I don't need it together. It's not an avocado. Give me the shrimp and give me the avocado. We're good, bro. You don't gotta fucking do this weird shit and like stuff it in the center. It's weird. It's weird. These people just want to get fucked. All right? These are just horny people. Like, what if we stuff it inside the avocado? Yeah, let me just jam it in there. Yeah, it's a nice little hole when you open it. You can pack it in there. Dude, go get laid. Eat a fucking steak and put the avocado on the side, bro. What's with the stuffing the avocados? Okay, let's move on. Next recipe.
What's in the box?
I am proud of all the recipes inside. So I don't know what the fuck this is. Greek frittata. Greek frittata. Interesting. All right.
Wow.
Well, there's nothing wrong with, if you make sourdough, that's what I'd recommend. I'm not sure if that's in the recipe, but I would recommend if you're making your own, if you do sourdough, you can do a lot of stuff. You can make your own pizza. You put raw cheese on it. You can put some steak on it. You can really, a lot of people that have those kinds of taste preferences, if you're making your own sourdough bread and crust, or you're getting it and it's really high quality and you enjoy cooking and making stuff like that, you put some steak, you put some grass-fed ground beef on it. It's just a different way to eat quality cheese. And you can make your own pizza. You can do that. It's all the ingredients. It really is. And there's a big difference. And some people, even sourdough, might jack them up. So then maybe you avoid this. But then we have the mushrooms. It's all the ingredients. It all depends on what you're putting on it. All right. Here we go. Turf kebabs. No, I'm kidding. It's surf and turf kebabs, but you can say, fuck you, shrimp, goddamn sea chicken. Let's fucking go turf, baby. Let's go turf, baby. God damn it. What's with these ocean veggies? Come on now. Give me some beef on that. Give me some turf and turf kebabs. I want my turf and turf. I want my surf and turf kebabs. I want my surf and turf kebabs with turf and turf. Yeah. Surf and turf kebabs. All right. Look, what I do appreciate is you can try to slide. You know what I don't like about, I like this image. I'm going to tell you something. I like this image, but I'll tell you what. I appreciate that this kebab setup doesn't have any, they try to, usually try to like slip a zucchini in there. They always try to do that. They always try to slip in some squash. I mean, if you put shit all over it, it might make it edible. But I know what they're trying to do. You're trying to stretch out your kebabs. All right. If you ever get a kebab and it has veggies on it, that's like kebab authoritarianism. They're trying to dictate how much meat you get on your stick. It's like, no. There's a stick. Put some fucking meat on it. Don't try to slip a zucchini in there. I want the tenderloin, motherfucker. Give me the meat. Don't try to slip in a Zucc. That fucking Zucc or a pepper. Is that a racial slur? That could be a Zucc. That sounds like but I'm saying like zucchini. Zucc sounds like a racial slur. And I just said it a few times, but not with the intention. Those fucking Zuckers. That sounds like a good slur. I'm taking it. Someone look that up. I really hope. But it's how it's spelled too. And it's in the context of people that slip on zucchini onto kebabs. Fucking Zuccs. That's a good one. Someone look up and see if that's a slur. Because I just said it like 10 times. I'm going to keep saying it, so I need to make sure that it's... Oh. Against Italians? Is it really? No, it's not. Who then that's fine. You can say Italian slurs. No one cares. I might have some Italian in me. I'm white. What the fuck? I'm not, like, who's against Italians? Seriously, I mean, it's not like in New York, like Italians, you know, in New York. It's like, that's a different New York Italian. That's a whole different type of Italian. It depends on. No, mook's a good word. That just means you're an idiot. Mook is that's one of my favorite terms because it sounds like a racial slur, but it's a slur against retards. It's just like, it's people. Like, a stupid person's a mook. So I love mook. I'm a huge fan. Mook, twat, cunt, retard, faggot, all quality. All quality. And we'll keep them. A Zucc in internet slang means to ban someone from posting on a website, especially on Facebook or Instagram. Oh, a Zucc? Oh, that's pronounced Zuck, probably, like Zuckerberg. You got zucked? Is that? You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Kingpin. Get Munsoned? Yeah, don't get Munsoned. Yeah, mook is great. Yeah, cunt, one of the best words ever from Ellie. I agree. So I'm going to call him Zucc. I'm going to call him Zucks. Zucc in slang has two distinct meanings, a mild oath and a West Indian Creole term meaning to have a good time. It can also refer to the Kashmiri term for pubic hair or a hair. Oh, I'll take it. That works. Zucc. I'm going to call you a Zucc then. All right, so a mild oath and a West Indian Creole term. Well, I'm not concerned about running across a West Indian Creole. So if all four of them are offended, I don't know, they can post a YouTube video or something. Sweet, I'm taking it. I mean, this whole clip. This is a very honest, innocent clip. Like, that's a great word, and apparently doesn't have anything. Zucc. But the way I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back for the Swole man. I'm taking it back for the Swole fam. I can't say the N word, but I can say the Z word. Fucking Zucks. A Zucc is now known as a person who would make kebabs and slip in some fucking zucchini instead of loading up that stick with some fucking meat. That's what it means. That's the type of person. You're gonna put fucking zucchini on my kebab? Get the fuck out of here. Give me some protein. Give me some fucking protein. That's what a Zucc is. Don't be a fucking Zucc. Eat a steak. Load up that fucking... should be a definition shirt. A Zucc. Z-U-C-C. Pronounced Zucc. Like the phonetic. We have the phonetic, like, writing of it. Yeah. Pronounced Zucc. A person that thinks a Zucc is someone who thinks, the type of person that thinks I wouldn't notice that you put a piece of fucking zucchini on my kebab and you didn't give me more meat. That's the type of person. That's the kind of personality. You think I wouldn't notice? You think I don't see what you're doing? You think I do not know what you just did? You think I wouldn't notice that shit? Fucking Zucc. Feels good. Feels good. I'm not against zucchini or squash for that matter. But a Zucc is different. Fucking Zucks. Zucc ass motherfucker. That sounds so good. Zucc. Yes. Yeah, sneaky Zucks. Crafty ass Zucks. Those fucking Zucks. Yo, I'm in. Dude, I'm that's a good one. It's gonna be Zucc. When will the shirt be ready? All right. So let's get into some more questions. We did the 3 recipes, and then we'll get into some featured classes. Let's see what we got here. Interesting show today. Philip Postek. Papa Swole, what are your best exercises for coordination and agility? My best exercises for coordination and agility. I would say, well, there's a lot. I mean, if you're talking about footwork and stuff, getting just like a ladder or getting some cones and doing some basic drills, jumping rope, just keeping that elasticity in your joints, doing some box jumps and stuff, even if it's like a little bit once in a while, is good for you. Really good. Sprinting, if you can do it, or gear back into that barefoot, of course. Aside from that, just for like upper body, underrated. I mean, kettlebells are fantastic for coordination and agility and power, and you can do a lot of rotation exercises. So kettlebells are great. Clubs and meals, maces, all stuff is great, and you can really get a nice flow, and it's great because you have to master a lot of skills to do like rotation and spin moves with a mace, because you really have to build up that joint integrity. You have to get the timing. You have to work with the motion and and that's why I like just doing the basics, because I have a lot of different maces and clubs with different shapes. And every time I swing one is completely different if I pick up a different one. So, the handle's a different size. The girth is different. The weight distribution, the veins are different. I mean, that's wrong stick, but they're all different. So they swing differently. So the movement timing is different. And there's a lot there. So my recommendation, medicine balls. There's a lot of things that can work with it. Kara Alexis 03. You guys wanted a question from her. Now she's dropping it. Do most people look attractive when fit? If they look fit, they look attractive, in my opinion. Do most people? Well, I don't know, because most people aren't fit. So how the fuck would I know? But they'll look much better. No one ever saw someone like, wow, they're morbidly obese, they're better looking than before. Said no one ever. I'm not saying people aren't with someone or find attraction in someone who's not the right body size. Okay, maybe they don't take care of their health enough yet, but they're in their journey, or they're going to, or you just met and now you're going to do better together. So no one's ever said that. Has anyone ever said, oh, you're no longer morbidly obese, you look worse? No one's ever said that. Wow, you gained 100 pounds. You look great. Has anyone ever said that? Wow, you gained 100 pounds. You look phenomenal. Jim Love Tomek. What's the best way to get big? Eat big, train hard, do it for years. Bar Kissler. I love leg day and hate arms day. Am I okay? You're not going to be. You're going to be bottom heavy. But let's put it this way. Loving leg day is great as long as you're making gains. So it's great. That's a bonus. You hate arms day. I got something for you. You don't need an arms day. So you're better off. It's better off. I love training arms. I hate training legs. First off, you should love training everything. You want to get big, you have to love training. So first off, you're breaking it down. You're thinking about this the wrong way, and you're ruining the rest of your life for training. I promise you. So you have to love training. Forget what you're training. You have to love the prospect of training and getting stronger at any fucking movement. That's what it means to build muscle. Any body part, any movement, progressive overloading, you'll get stronger, you'll build muscle over time. How much? Depends. But that's what you need to do. So fall in love with training and the tracking and the strength progressions and the progressive overload, the training. Forget the body part, the training, and everything else will fall into place. So number 2, you don't need an arms day. I don't do an arm day. Just do upper lower. Boom. Problem solved. You could just do a set or two and do a couple arms, or you could just do chest and back and do some more compound movements, and don't isolate your arms. Maybe you don't care about getting your arms really big. I don't know who doesn't, because that's what's visible. I recommend that you train your arms hard. You just don't need as much volume as you're probably doing, and you don't need an arm day. I don't have an arm day. I'll repeat, I don't have an arm day. I have an upper body day. And then you prioritize whatever on your upper body. If you want to focus more on maybe your traps and get thicker, your spinal erectors, you want to train more your chest or your shoulders, cool. Then train those and throw in like a set or two for bis and tris, or one set. For me, when I train my triceps, a lot of times when I'm doing like tricep extensions, I do one set. When I do two, I get so fucking sore from training my triceps. My triceps get so sore. I shouldn't always say that. They get so fatigued. to where if I do 2 sets, I feel it so much more than if I do one. Like, I know it's double, but everyone's going to have that. You're going to have certain body parts that need more recovery, and usually just means less volume. Doesn't mean less intensity. It can, but it just means it'll incur more fatigue. So what are those body parts for you guys? For me, it's quads and triceps. Off the top of my head, it's like quads and triceps really I need to be mindful of. Specifically quads and triceps, I need to be very mindful of in terms of my exercise selection, my volume, my frequency, what I like best. I will say you're better off. Alex says, I'm just imagining this guy with huge legs and tiny arms. It's better for you to have jacked legs. It's hard to get big legs. It just takes a lot of effort, and people have a hard time with legs because you use them all the time. So you always feel the soreness. You don't feel your chest soreness unless you move your arm across. You're like, oh, I feel it. But whether you're sitting down, you're taking a shit, you're standing, you're getting out of the car, legs you just feel because you're standing on them. This is why, again, I'm talking about frequency and how much volume. Back it off, because you're going to feel it's just much more exhausting. You don't be sore I've done that so much. I've trained to the point where I was sore for a week. It sucks. It affects everything. Charles 624 on Rumble. Papa Soya, if I go from full body every other day to upper lower, would it negatively affect my gains from hitting each body part 3 times a week to 2? No. I'm going to do a masterclass on this. This is part of it. This is what I prefer. I love, and I'll do a masterclass on breaking all this down, but I love every other day. And I do kind of like an upper lower blend. I do an upper lower full body blend. And I want to explain this in more detail. But I like every other day, period. And I like focusing more on upper or lower on those days. But it doesn't mean you can't do a certain body part every day. So you can still do certain body parts. You might prefer to do 1 set every other day. If you're prioritizing it, you could put that first, or just do it every other day. You could do certain body parts every other day and they will really respond well. And it might even be optimal to do so, but not every body part. So you can still have, like, I still do some lower body on upper body day, and I still do some upper body on lower body day, but it's very specific to what I'm prioritizing. And the volume is as minimal as it gets. It's 1 all out set, but I'll do it every other day. But for me, most body parts, I prefer training twice a week. 2 to 3 times a week sounds like a lot, but it's different. So if you're doing every other day, if you're doing 4 times a week, you're doing 1 all out set. And some body parts maybe can take 2, like calves or forearms, but let's say 1 set every other day. That's 3.5 sets a week. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4. So you're doing 4 sets a week, you're doing it every other day. So the frequency is the most important thing there. If you do twice a week and you do 2 sets twice a week, that's 4 sets. So you're doing 4 sets versus 1 set every other day, which is 3 to 4, but you're doing 2 sets twice a week. Personally, I like the 72 hours of recovery. I like the Monday, Friday. I like those 3 days of local recovery for my body parts. And I'd rather do in general, I'd rather do 2 sets and do it twice a week. So I get 4 total. But I like to train every other day. I like those days off. So every time I go to train, I'm coming off a recovery day and I'm feeling fresh. I've done splits where I would do calves or forearms in between, and then I'm just kind of getting ready and psychologically training every day, even for something really short. And it just becomes more of like a compulsive, I need to do something every day. So I just go harder on those other days, and then I get a full day of recovery. So I can send it, not necessarily that I'm pushing every set to failure by training really hard. Maybe it's a 2-hour workout, or maybe it's an hour and a half, or I take my time. Maybe it's an hour. Like, I can go short, and then I can always pivot to full body if I want to. If I want to take an extra day off, I can just do full body the next day, and then I'm get on the every other day routine, which means I could still switch back to upper lower whenever I want. So I like every other day, upper lower, and then I can always take an extra recovery day and do a full body, or just go right back to upper lower. It's just more recovery, and I can train harder, and it's also less warm-up sets. So everyone's preparation sets are going to be different. So let's say you're doing full body and you're doing 2. Let's say before you do your all-out set, sometimes you need 3 sets. Sometimes 1 will be enough. Let's just say 2. Let's say every exercise you set up, you should do 2 primer sets or 2 preparation sets. So if you're doing 10 different exercises, that's 20 preparation sets. and then one all-out working set. So you're doing 30 sets. Because preparation sets, you're not lifting no weight. You might be going lighter, but then you might be doing another set. And sometimes you might be doing 3 sets and just doing a couple reps with like a heavier weight. And okay, I'm ready. Because you need to do a couple primer sets. So if you're doing just upper lower, you're doing 5 exercises. And let's say you're doing the same amount of 2 warm-up sets or 2 preparation sets. You're doing 10 instead of 20. So you're doing half the amount of preparation sets and you're doing more working sets. So you have more energy maybe for that second working set. And also for me, sometimes doing 1 set, depending on the body part, for some body parts, doing more frequently is beneficial. You're going to be less fatigued, like things like forearms and calves, just because, like overdoing it and getting too fatigued and too sore, like in your forearms, can negatively affect upper body training. Same thing with calves and lower body training, like squats. If they're really sore or fatigued, they can cramp, or, you just don't necessarily need to over fatigue them. Just training more frequently is a better trade-off. And sometimes 1 set just doesn't feel like enough. Doing 3 reps or 4 reps. Yeah, it might be very stimulating, but a lot of times I might like to drop the weight slightly and then do like an all-out set for like 7 or 8 reps, kind of like get everything else. It's kind of like if you're drinking kefir and you just drink it, right? You have a cup of kefir, just a random example, but yogurt, whatever, and you drink it. Okay, you put it down. There's a lot of yogurt still in the cup, and you never really get it. And you can put water in it and rinse it out. Just kind of tastes gross. Or you take like a spatula, you're not going to get it all. So I feel like that second set, getting that more stimulation, just doing 2 sets, I don't have to set up another exercise. I'm already warmed up. I could drop the weight like 10 pounds or 15 pounds or whatever it is, and then send it. I don't have to worry about setting up a whole nother exercise. I can just stay there. So it's also can save more time. And then I just recover completely. So I know for my quads, I need more recovery. I like doing 2 to 3 sets for my quads on a leg day, depending on what I'm doing. But I just notice I have to be more mindful of pressing movements, more mindful of going so heavy, maybe on a hack squat or a pendulum squat or a leg press. So I like to do that probably no more than like twice a week. Sometimes I'll do it 2 lowered body days in a row, but then I'll skip the next one, or I do every other one. I'll do more of a heavy compound movement. I just play around with different things and how I feel, but you have to give yourself that flexibility to figure that out. I think it's very important, figuring out how your body likes to work and what your limits are and what you can maintain. Because I could do more compound movements, for example. I could do pendulum squat every time, but then I might just get overused in a certain way, and it's very overloading, and you're going so hard, and it's just more physiologically exhausting, not just overall fatigue and systemic fatigue, but maybe it can lead to like an imbalance in or overuse doing the same thing over and over again. And then, you stop seeing those progress, or you get an injury and your knee starts to bother you just because you're working on the same. You want to adapt to that stress, but you also have to understand how much of a load you're using. When you're having quality form and you're pushing really hard, close to failure, you have to understand what that means. And we'll go a little bit deeper on this for a second. If you're working at a physical job and you're loading boxes, and I know a lot of you work UPS or you're doing unloading, it's very physical. People ask this question all the time: when should I train? And you're lifting 30 pounds, 30 pounds, 30 pounds. Yes, you're doing stuff all day, but that's like cardio. So that's very sub-max. If you can lift 30 pounds and stack, you'll have a job that says you're going to be lifting anywhere between 10 and 50 pounds. Do not apply if you cannot do that for longer periods of time. And for most men, it's like you can do that. You'll be sore the first couple of days, but then you just get used to lifting. It's very sub-max. It's like you doing curls with 10 pounds. You'll get sore if you just did that all day for the first time, but after a while, it's 10 pounds. You just can do a lot of reps, a lot of sets, and you're not as sore, and your body adapts to that and whatever. So it's not progressive overload. You're not going to work preparing lifting. You lift a 30-pound box, and then you lift a 70-pound box, then you lift a 100-pound box. Okay, you're going to lift this 250-pound box, and you lift it up, and you've never lifted a 250-pound box before, and then you fucking put on it. Holy shit, you've never done that before. Wow. And then a couple days go by, and that's your work. And then you go back, right? And then a couple days later, you go back and you lift a 30-pound box and a 70-pound box and then a 100-pound, and then you lift a 251-pound box. Holy shit. I remember this like last time I did it. It's a little bit fucking. Okay, you're getting some neural adaptation. Or you lifted a 255-pound box. And then over time, you put on a couple, like a pound on that box. And it's really hard for you to do that one time. Pretend like that you're doing 5. You're lifting 5 of those heavy boxes. You're doing 5 reps. I should have said that. You're not doing that for work. That's why training is different. It's progressive overload. And understand how fatiguing that is. I don't think people really, you guys start to realize it when you try it. But when you really go and you give your all out effort on a specific movement, all out, and you cannot do more than 6 reps. That's everything that's everything that muscle had. And you can only do it 6 fucking times. You couldn't do it if you had a gun to your head, you wouldn't have been able to get a 7th rep. Let's say you do that. Or maybe you could have gotten 1 more, right? You left 1 rep in the tank. How long do you think that would take to recover? You can't even do that same effort for 1 more set, probably, unless you rested for like 4 or 5 minutes, maybe 1 more. You might have to drop a little bit of the weight and then you get 7 or 8 reps. But think about that. That's your limit. For most body parts, doing that again in like a day off, it's going to be too much. So some muscles just take a little longer recovery. In other words, the progressive overload is everything. How much you're fatiguing your body a lot more than you give it credit for. And when you start pulling back, just like the elimination diet, you start noticing how much this intensity really affects your body. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. All right. Mathis Bastien, Papa Swole, what's the best way to get motivated / ready to go to the gym on a daily basis? You're not going to get what's the best way to fucking do it? Stop worrying about your fucking feelings and do it on a daily basis, or get on a quality program and execute. What's the best way to fucking do it and stop asking questions? Arkit 1012, Papa Swole, is sweet potato good for bulking as a vegetarian? Well, can you put on weight by eating sweet potatoes? Sure. My question is, why the fuck are you a vegetarian? Why are you avoiding nature's most nutrient-dense foods? Eat the shit out of pastured eggs then. You better be eating a fuck ton of eggs. I would recommend getting grass-fed and finished beef. Regeneratively raised. It's great for the environment. I don't know why you're a vegetarian, but a lot of people are vegetarians because their stomach is so fucked up because they're eating garbage, chemical trash, and seed oils and shit. And they think vegetarian is the answer. All right. New merch, new stuff. Let's get into it.
That's deep.
Featured yoga class this week. Total body yin with sound healing. Very nice. Now available over at swolenormousx.com. Featured yoga class this week. Total body yin with sound healing. We also have kettlebell round 8, swollen 7 featured this week. And maximum swole shoulders. So those are all now featured classes on your homepage. Fantastic. Excellent. All right. Let's get into, let's see. It is go to the fucking gym month. So we're not letting the Rainbow Mafia we're taking June back, by the way. June is for going to the fucking gym. So it's happy GTTFG month, everyone. That's the real alphabet. Yeah, that's the real alphabet. That's the real, Veterans Month. I'm just doing my part. I'm fine. You want to go veterans, but I'm trying to pull back from the retardation. So I can't go after it with Veterans Month. I got to go after it with GTTFG month. That's the real alphabet. LGBTQ. That's what? GTTFG. There you go. It's GTTFG month. Go to the fucking gym, you fat chode. How about that? How about that? How about dem apples? We got new yoga. You ready? Let's go. Brand new yoga. And then we'll do a video or two. Level 2, flow number 5, express class with Alex.
Inconceivable! He's on fire!
Look at the puppers. Look at the puppers rolling over. Look at that puppers. So a lot of you, you might not be ready for level 2, but that's all good. I always say this, try. If you've been taking a couple days off from the gym or something and you want like a yoga class that's going to challenge you, something a little more physical, maybe you're traveling, try a level 2 class. And again, you try this brand new flow number 5, you can always try the other ones. That means there's 4 other ones. So we always like to add things. Do not be afraid of level 2. And like I say, oftentimes it depends on where you're tight. Different level 2 classes focus on different areas. So if you find you have issues with your shoulders, a level 2 shoulders class might be something that's more challenging, not in a bad way, but you might find certain level 2 classes that you like better than level 1 classes because it focuses on certain areas that challenge you more in, because you'll have certain aspects of your yoga practice physically that are just you're more adept at than others. So you can adjust different ones that you find like, ooh, this is really good. This challenged my shoulders, but it's something that I know I need to practice specifically. I felt you did a couple moves like, holy shit, that felt great. Bookmark the class and come back to it and just practice. Again, you can focus on 5 different yoga classes. Like, I really think people will benefit tremendously from finding a couple classes that you like and do those ones over and over again, master them. You know what to expect. You know where it's going. You know you're capable of doing it. It's just great for coats of paint. I really love doing the same classes over and over again. Some of you really like the random or doing different ones and different flows, but do not underestimate the power of just finding one you like and just doing that over and over again for a while. It's great. It's like reading the same book over and over again. As you get better, you can enjoy the class more because then you can do it better. And then you know what's coming. You know the next transition. You've done it a lot. It's a great automatic habit forming, just default class. All right. So let's get into a video. This one's called Pride Month. No, it's GTTFG Month. This is called Pride Month. Kids react to drag queens for the first time. Fuck you.
Hi, my name is Bar. What's your name?
My name's Elle, and this is Junie.
Feeling a little shy?
You fucking clown. You look like a clown.
You're not shy.
No.
How old do you think I am?
30. Are one of you a girl and one of you are a boy?
That's
You're a clown.
Question.
You look like a clown.
Life, yes. Can you tell by my voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
I'm a little bit nervous. I've never seen a drag queen before.
And what do you think?
I think it's cool.
It's great?
Yeah.
Why are you nervous?
I don't know.
Because you're a dude. And it's a natural reaction.
Different?
It's a natural reaction from a girl to be uncomfortable around. This is like predatory behavior. This is so fucking gross. This is so gross. This is so gross. Yeah, Ronald McDonald, that's weird, right? Ronald McDonald, but at least Ronald McDonald wasn't dressed like a woman. You know? It was a clown. It was obviously a clown. So people are afraid of clowns for a reason. It's weird. It's kind of comes off as creepy, and horror movies have been made about it. So people see those too young and then have a fear of clowns. It's just a weird thing, right? You have a person with paint all over the face. So some kids are like giggling and a lot of kids are like, oh, I don't know what the fuck that is. It's a natural reaction. What the fuck is that? Why do you look so different? That's not what a human looks like. Oh my God. And kids will cry and bury their face in mommy and daddy because they're afraid. What the fuck is that thing? I've never seen that before. And this is natural. It's a natural evolutionary reaction. It's different. I'm a little scared. Yeah, kids are apprehensive about it. You should be. You should be. You're tiny and you're vulnerable. This is how we've survived. Hey, what's that weird thing? And what's that weird thing that just crawled into the hole at the base of that tree? Let me stick my arm in there and find out. You get bit by a spider and then, oh, we don't do that anymore. Cluck, cluck. Cluck, cluck just died. Oh, we don't do that. We don't stick hands in those. We put fire in there first. And then we go, you know, it's like, we don't stick hands in there anymore. That's not what we do. Okay. Anyway, let's.
Different and new.
What age did you realize you like dressing up in drag?
Oh, I have been dressing up since I was a little kid. I just didn't know drag existed.
Show me where Uncle Jack touched you. Yeah, this person was diddled and sexually abused, and now we're passing on the trauma to kids. This kid's like, what? How old were you when you knew you were mentally insane?
Do you think that boy can wear makeup?
Yes.
And would you agree that makeup is for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Why do you like wearing, like, dresses and stuff?
I think for me, it's
Sexual
like a
pleasure?
character, you know?
Like in a play?
It gets me
Yeah,
off.
exactly.
As a kid, did you ever feel a bit excluded and different?
Yes. I got bullied and I teased a lot as a kid. So yeah, being bullied is not fun.
Yeah, it's really not.
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah. Yeah. Bullies are social structure. Bullies keep the integrity of a social structure together, right? I think that's what we've lost. I'm not saying bullying is good, but I think the societal effect is a regulation of this kind of insanity. You have to, it keeps people like, you know, perpetuating this kind of mental insanity for kids. It just allows everything to be offensive. It allows everything to be, you're infantilizing society. That's why I say make shaming great again. Like, look, some people are always going to be like that. They're just broken inside for whatever reason. But I mean, you gotta have standards. You gotta have some guidelines. Uncle Jack, yeah, big hands. You gotta have big hands. All right, let's do another one. This one's called Not a Choice.
What's in the box?
We got some epic new releases, so don't nobody go nowhere. Great stuff today.
Oh, Zoe. Being fat is absolutely not a choice.
It is.
Being fat is absolutely not a choice. Now,
It is.
I know there's a number of videos where I said that for some people it's not a choice. And then I was like, Melanie, who are these some people? Who is it you think is a choice for? So I would like to go on record. Being fat is absolutely not a choice for anyone. Now, people who come into the comments with these kinds of this nonsense.
For anyone. Obesity is not a choice for anyone. How many of you made different choices and now you're no longer morbidly obese, or you're no longer as morbidly obese? How many of you have just changed your choices and now you no longer have all the issues you used to?
Because Zoe, you're not the first and you will not be the last, right? You're like, being fat's a choice. It was a choice for me and I was just lazy and I made excuses and now I work really hard and blah, blah.
Yep.
First of all, that is all fat phobia.
No, it's not.
This is a fat phobic narrative. This idea that we can all just try harder, right?
It's not about trying harder. It's about doing the fundamental things. Again, this is just like, it's insane. It's about the fundamental things. You just don't want to change. Just try harder, right? You have to care harder, I guess. You have to care enough to change your habits. You have to care enough to drop your ego. You have to have humility. And these people don't. Everyone else has to change. It's fat phobia. They can't be the problem. It is. Like you are the problem and you're just proving why it's the problem. It has nothing to do with trying harder. It has to do with having basic fundamental habit changes. I don't think it's hard at all. I don't think it's hard at all. I think people make it hard. It's literally not hard. It's just making different choices. So it's as hard as you make it, I should say. You've heard it's simple. It's not easy. That's also pandering to people that are like, oh my God, it's so difficult. It's supposed to be hard. Oh. And I say that. It's like, it's simple. It's not easy. That still panders to pussies. How about it is? How about it is? How about we just call it what it is? I think it's simple and easy. It's simple and it's as easy as you make it. Or it's as hard as you make it. It's the same thing. Why do people make it so hard? Oh my God. They put all these roadblocks and then be like, oh my God, it's so hard. You're making it hard. Sorry, you're making it hard. You're making it hard.
That everything is just down to food and exercise. It completely ignoring all the other factors that can lead to weight gain. And I'm not going to do a video of all the factors because I've done that in the past and no one gives a shit. Because those of you who have internalized fat phobia you're not wanting to hear what I have to say.
Yeah,
Google's
you're going to talk about socioeconomics. Some people have food deserts, and some people have genetics, and some people have this. Okay.
free. If you actually care, you can Google that, or you can watch one of my other videos. But there are
Do not take advice from someone. Do not take advice from someone who is morbidly obese. I do not. Again, this is why I've been talking about this whole time about where your opinion is coming from. Like, where are you formulating your information? You have nothing value. You are morbidly obese. I don't want to take any of your advice. You know what? If I take your advice, I'm going to look like you. How about that? If I take your advice, do you want take her advice if you want her results? Okay? I'll leave it there. That's it. Do you want her results? Then take her advice. Okay. Let's get into new releases. Fam, who's ready for more releases? Let's go. I am proud to announce that we have a brand new section. Launching inside the Swolenormous app. So if you haven't yet downloaded the Swolenormous app, head on over to the App Store or Google Play, download the Swolenormous app. You can also first join over at swolenormousx.com. We'll hook you up, and then you can download the app afterwards. But join the fam today, and we have new releases every Monday. Today is Monday, so we're going to go over some more new releases. But yeah, we got everything you need inside the Swolenormous app. And if you've been using it and you noticed, we made some adjustments to the community section. So streamlined that, made it a lot better, more stable, and also a little improved feature and usage with the comment section and likes and comment tracking and stuff like that. So if you have noticed it, drop your thoughts in the comments. Hopefully it's working a little bit more smooth. And great stuff. More improvements. Always working on new stuff. So we got a new section. Drum roll.
What's in the box?
A new section in the app. It's going to be in the education section. It is... Oh, it's not scrolling. You guys don't get to know. It's Ask Papa Swolio. So, what does this mean? Well, of course, we're doing masterclass and such all the time, but we answer questions on the show all the time, and I prefer to answer them on the show when they're posted in the community section. So this is going to be a members exclusive section where we take clips from the podcast answering questions that are posted in the community section. So we're not going to take like, do you like creatine from the podcast? But I like featuring the questions. So when we go over community posts in the just a tip section, we're reading from Swole text and so on and so forth. But sometimes people ask questions in the app community section. I'll answer there, this, that, and the other. But I also like to answer on the show so everyone else can see it. So we'll take those clips when we answer. So if you have a question and you hashtag Ask Papa Swole and you post in the community section, other members and other veteran members and Swole team will respond and stuff. But when I answer them on the show, then we can archive them and they're searchable. So we're going to scan some of the more recent episodes, and any of the questions that have been asked in the community section that I answer on the show, we will put in here, and that way they're searchable, and it's great information that we can hopefully answer questions that people might have, and we can also refer people to certain clips, and it's a great way to help members get answers that maybe other members didn't know they had, or questions that they didn't know they had. So we got a couple to go along with that. It's not just a new section announcement. We got 2 videos. And the first one is, which training split should I follow? And these kinds of things are always answered in a different way, and they're contextual. And the other video is, how should I adjust my training when pregnant? You might remember this question from the other day. So we get some responses and kind of address some of these concerns. And also you can comment under the video if you want to add something, because if I don't have an answer, I might be more vague or talk around it or read some comments from the live stream. So when you watch these videos, if you have other input, like, oh, I also have a great idea. When I was pregnant, I did X, Y, and Z. You can comment and it can actually be logged and saved, and it's going to be registered under the video in the app. So you can also drop your inputs there. All right. So when you guys ask a question in the community section, I'll bring up the app on the phone. Where am I? Here I am. So when you go to the community section, then, for example, Abby asked this question, ask Papa Swole, so that'd be a good one that we can take action. So if you're asking questions here in the community section or posting up, you can ask your questions there, and then it'll be a great way for us to answer in more depth. Then we can also refer in the comment, hey, check out this video. It's more content. And again, when you're searching in the app for a certain topic, there's a lot of things that we might cover on the show, specific nuance that might not be necessarily overarching masterclass, but it's great information that we can add to the education section. All right. So I think a huge improvement and a great addition to Swolenormous X. All right. We also have let me open this up. We got another announcement. Let me open that bad boy up. Let's see here. All right. Can I make it smaller? Oh, there we go. I can open it with preview. Perfect. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this one, and then we'll get into the last release. We got new merch. You're going to love it.
What's in the box?
Bam. Huge success. 2 weeks ago, we got a Rise and Swole this Thursday at 9:30 a.m. We got another one. Let's get America. All right, so what is that? Episode 33. Is it 18? 17? God, I can't do math. Tomorrow's 15, 16, 17. So 33, 17. So we're going to have another Rise and Swole roundtable this Thursday, June 5th, 9:30 a.m., 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. That's Eastern time. So West Coast, 6:30 a.m. You do the math. All right. So that's Eastern time. That's New York, Miami. So last one was awesome. Great way to start the day. Get your coffee, get your tea, get your bone broth, post-workout, pre-workout. Come hang out with the Swole fam this Thursday, June 5th, 9:30 a.m. And of course, on your homepage, you'll see the Zoom call link. You can save it, but we'll talk about it tomorrow and the next day. So awesome. Looking forward to chilling with you guys again. I love the Rise and Swole. It's a great way to start the day. Start the day with the Swole fam. Fucking get after it. Thursday morning. Let's do it. Join us over at swolenormousx.com. Who's ready for new merch? Who's ready for new merch? I want that air horn again. I'm going to blow out your ear holes with this. Who's ready for new merch? All right, fam. Summer's here. It's not even coming. Summer's here. And, you know, this is a tough time of year for a lot of people. Now, a lot of movies, and we've been talking about this. I've been exposing Hollywood. And TV industry. All these different, and I'm really trying to take it back for the Swole fam. The Swole fam is something I've been a part of. It's like the Masons, like an underground society. I inherited the Swole fam. I took up the mantle. So you guys have seen, and this is what I've been exposing with Depth Vader, with Forrest Pump, Jurassic Pump. We have Jack Sparrow. Like, these were all the original characters. And Hollywood has made billions of dollars off the backs of the original foundational characters that love to make sick fucking gains. It should have been Forrest Pump. It was a great movie. But they changed Pump to Gump. And just keep on exposing the hypocrisy. They have stolen from the people. They have stolen our rights to make sick fucking gains. We lost out. That's exactly right, Mark. We lost out on those great characters. Super Swole Bros. Super Mario Bros. Very successful. Billion-dollar franchise. But again, Gandalf, you know, you shall not pass. Original screenplay, you shall not fast. Monopoly. That beloved board game for like a century. It was always the game of gains. It was always Swoleopoly. The Circle of Life. It's the Circle of Lift. It always has been. Gym Busters. Harry Squatter. The Power Pump Girls. Back to the fucking gym. Optimus Pump. Swoleverine. Deadlift. Like, Hollywood has no originality. Pumpachew. Swole, Gumby was jacked. My Swole pony. Swole White and the Seven Stakes. The Curl Bears. I am tired of getting fucking pushed around. And I'm tired of not getting, I'm tired of not profiting, honestly. This is our IP. Oh, Disney's amazing. All these characters. Yeah, because they stole our fucking ideas. All our ideas. Ridiculous. And I'll tell you, fam, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. So you guys look at these designs and you're like, wow, that's really creative. Is it? Is it really creative? Well, I have to agree. You know why it's creative? It's because this is the original. It's not hard. Back to the fucking gym. Back to the future. Oh, real creative. Super Swole Bros. Super Mario Bros. Okay. Optimus Pump. Let's just change it to Optimus Prime. Harry Squatter. That's a great idea. What if we change it to Harry Potter? No one's going to notice. If we call it Pikachu, no one's going to find out. Well, I'm going to continue to expose Hollywood. We're just getting started. There's another blasphemous movie.
What's in the box?
You think I wouldn't notice? You think I wouldn't notice? It's summer. A lot of you are going to the beach. You're going to go in the water. You're afraid of sharks. I don't blame you. But there's one shark in particular. There's one shark in particular.
What's in the box?
That is feared above all others. Fam, and that is lats. Lats was the original terror of the oceans. Everyone fears lats. But then they changed it to Jaws and thought that Papa Swole wouldn't notice. They thought I wouldn't notice, and they thought that we'd forget about lats. I want the whole world to remember. Never forget, lats is the terror of the high seas. Fam, is this not... I know I edged you. I know some of you are just busting loads right now, but is that not great? Is that not an amazing design? I am so fucking excited. This is hitting me like Back to the fucking Gym. This hits me like Swoleopoly. This hits me like Depth Vader. Optimus Pump. They're all such great designs. I mean, this cracks me up. Cracks me up. And there's a little Papa Swole right up there. What a great design. Let's get in there. Let's zoom in. Look at that fucking design, dude. Look at Papa Swole. Look at me. Look at little Swole. Look at that guy. Dun, dun, dun. I see you. He's like, I see you. Yeah. Look how fucking ripped. I'm jacked. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eyes. Black eyes like a doll.
Lat spread. Look at that lat spread. All right. The shark is jacked. Cerny says, I don't get it. Are you fucking serious? You don't get it? Sorry, shark is jacked, though? Is this too highbrow? Is that too highbrow? That's a great fucking shot. That cracks me up. How do you not? How is this not fucking pop? What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Ridiculous. All right, fam, 20% off papaswolio.com. It's storming hard, so we're going to shut this down before we lose power or something like that, because it could flick off at any moment, and then I won't be able to get this episode up. So let's give away today's Swole card. Get Swole. Get Swole. We got Swole card time. I think we have one more video. Let's do this one quick. I'll roll the dice on it. If it doesn't get uploaded, it is what it is. Misgendered.
So I freaking hate to be the girl that cries on the internet.
You're not... Ew. You're a dude, right? You're a dude, bro. I don't care. You were misgendered. Someone called you a dude because you look like a fucking dude because you have a fat fucking cock. All right.
Matt Damon.
I'm not playing the video, fam. It's been a great day. I could barely hear you because the fucking rain outside. Let's give away today's Swole card. It is Get Swole. Let's fucking go, Falcon. We got a winner. I know who's getting Swole. Today's winner is Rona Woods. Congratulations. All right. Rona, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3314, the subject, your mailing address, and the body of the email. All right, let's make everything live. And you can go and pick up that amazing merch right now. Thanks for being here, Beaches. Appreciate you. We will see you tomorrow for 3315. Go check out the brand new merch over at papaswolio.com. It's all going to be made live on the app and on the website shortly. Hope you enjoyed the new drops. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow. Join the fam over at swolenormousx.com. Peace, McGee's, deuce, magoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
The straight jacket, cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing, like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans, I don't need help. I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh and they so mad. It's like,
yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint. We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my